The hallways of Freeman High School in Rockford, Washington, were filled with the laughter and chatter of students making their way to class on an ordinary day. Little did they know that this tranquility would be shattered in an instant, transforming their everyday routine into a scene of unimaginable horror and heroism. As the fateful day of September 13th, 2017 dawned, the students and teachers at Freeman High School had no inkling of the nightmare that awaited them. For many, it was just another day in the routine of high school life. Yet fate had a cruel twist in store that would test the limits of their courage, resilience, and humanity. As the day wore on, a sense of foreboding began to loom over the school. Whispers of an impending threat sent shivers down the spines of some students who shared uneasy glances, wondering if the rumors were true. Amidst this growing tension, one student named Sam Strahan found himself drawn into the heart of the unfolding drama. Suddenly, gunshots shattered the peaceful atmosphere, piercing the air with their deafening roar. In the blink of an eye, what had been an ordinary day turned into a terrifying ordeal. Panic surged through the halls as students and teachers alike desperately sought cover, each gunshot echoing the rising terror in their hearts. As the chaos unfolded, Sam Strahan found himself face to face with the shooter. In that split second, his life hung in the balance. The decision he made next would not only shape his own destiny, but also have a profound impact on the lives of his fellow students. In a moment of sheer courage and presence of mind, Sam decided to confront the shooter, attempting to reason with him and bring an end to the rampage. As he stepped forward, his voice echoing with determination, he uttered the words that would encapsulate the tragic events of that day. "I always knew you were going to shoot up the school." With those haunting words, Sam had not only predicted the shooter's actions, but also seemed to have foreseen his own fate. Tragically, his attempt at intervention was met with a bullet, a single shot that would seal his fate and send shockwaves through the entire school community. It was a devastating turn of events that left everyone questioning how such horror could have unfolded within the walls of their once safe haven of learning. But what exactly compelled Sam to take such a drastic step? What drove him to confront the shooter and ultimately pay the ultimate price for his bravery? To understand Sam's actions, we must delve into the depths of his character, exploring the values, experiences, and emotions that shaped his response to that fateful incident. Sam's decision to confront the shooter was not a spur-of-the-moment action. It was a testament to the kind of person he was, someone who valued human life, who could not stand idly by while innocent people were being endangered. His words, "I always knew you were going to shoot up the school," carried the weight of a premonition, as if he had a sixth sense about the shooter's intentions. But it was more than just a hunch. It was a reflection of Sam's deep empathy and his unwavering commitment to protecting those around him. He had seen the warning signs, the subtle cues that indicated the darkness brewing within his classmate. Perhaps he sensed the turmoil that lay beneath the surface, the pain and anger that had driven the shooter to such extreme measures. Or maybe he simply couldn't bear the thought of his friends and classmates being caught in the crossfire. Whatever the reason, Sam's instincts told him that he had to act. He knew that if he didn't do something, innocent lives would be lost. And so he stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest, ready to face the unimaginable. His confrontation with the shooter was not just a physical act, it was a battle of wills, a desperate attempt to reach out to his troubled classmate and bring him back from the brink. He spoke with a calmness that belied the turmoil within him, his voice a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. But unfortunately, his efforts were in vain. The shooter, consumed by his own darkness, saw no path back. He had crossed over to the other side, leaving Sam and everyone else trapped in his wake. Sam's heroic actions were not born out of a lack of fear, but rather from an abundance of courage. He was afraid, terrified even, but his fear was outweighed by his sense of duty and his compassion. He knew that fear would not save him or the people he cared about. Only courage could do that. So he summoned every ounce of strength within him and confronted the shooter, hoping against hope that he could make a difference. But as the gunshot echoed through the halls, it became clear that his sacrifice would not bring the shooter to justice. The wound inflicted upon him ran deeper than any physical injury. It tore at the fabric of the school community, leaving scars that would never fully heal. The halls that once echoed with laughter were now filled with grief and remembrance. The faces of his classmates, once filled with carefree joy, were now etched with sadness and disbelief. But in the midst of the sorrow, Sam's legacy shone brightly. His actions served as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could prevail. His story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the bravery that lay dormant in the hearts of many. People were inspired by his selflessness, his willingness to put his own life on the line to save others. They saw in him a reflection of their own humanity, a mirror to the goodness that resided within them. Following the incident, Freeman High School became a place of healing and remembrance. The community rallied together, supporting one another through the pain and trying to find ways to honor Sam's memory. Memorials were held, candles were lit, and stories were shared, each one adding to the mosaic of a life cut tragically short. As time went on, the pain did not subside, but it transformed. The grief-stricken faces gradually gave way to smiles, the tears to laughter. The memories remained, but they were now intertwined with pride and admiration. Sam was not just remembered as a victim, but as a hero, a young man who had shown extraordinary courage in the face of adversity. His classmates, teachers, and the entire community came together to keep his memory alive. They organized fundraisers, volunteered at local charities, and reached out to other communities that had faced similar tragedies. They wanted to make a difference, not just for themselves, but for the world. The impact of Sam Strahan's heroism transcended the confines of Freeman High School. It reverberated throughout the nation, touching the hearts of countless individuals who had never met him. His story became a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in a world that often seemed shrouded in darkness. People from all walks of life were moved by his selfless actions, his bravery in the face of fear. They saw in him a reflection of their own humanity, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could prevail. As the nation mourned with the people of Rockford, Washington, it also celebrated the life of Sam Strahan, a young man who had touched the hearts of many in a short span of 15 years. He may have been gone, but his spirit lived on in the hearts of those he had touched. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this tragedy is the fact that Sam had already endured significant loss in his young life. Just months before the shooting at Freeman High School, he had lost his father. This profound grief had understandably left a deep emotional wound that continued to ache within him. The sudden and unexpected loss of a parent is a devastating experience, capable of shaking one's world and leaving an emptiness that is difficult to fill. It can evoke a myriad of emotions, from shock and disbelief to overwhelming sadness and loneliness. When a child loses a parent, it is not just the loss of a family member, but also the loss of guidance, support, and unconditional love that only a parent can provide. It is important to acknowledge that grief is a unique and deeply personal journey, and there is no right or wrong way to grieve. Some may find solace in seeking support from friends, family, or mental health professionals, while others may prefer to process their grief in solitude. Regardless of the path one chooses, the journey through grief can be long and arduous, filled with ups and downs. In Sam's case, the pain of losing his father was still fresh and raw, making him particularly vulnerable to the turmoil and chaos that ensued at Freeman High School. It is conceivable that he had been grappling with his emotions, searching for answers, and perhaps even feeling a sense of hopelessness. The shooting at the school became the catalyst for a tragic outcome, a culmination of events that left an indelible mark on his young life. When confronted with the shooter, Sam's actions can be seen as a desperate attempt to find meaning and purpose in a world that had already dealt him a heavy hand. His bravery and selflessness in confronting the shooter should not be viewed solely as an act of heroism, but also as a way for him to find solace and perhaps even redemption in the face of immeasurable grief. In conclusion, the story of Sam Strahan is a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the complexities of the human psyche. His actions at Freeman High School were not just those of a hero, but of a young man grappling with his own inner demons and societal pressures. It is essential to approach his story with sensitivity and understanding, recognizing the multitude of factors that may have contributed to his actions. Mental health awareness, parental involvement, and access to resources can play a crucial role in preventing such tragedies. As we remember Sam, let us strive to create a world that offers support, compassion, and understanding to those who are struggling. His legacy should inspire us to be kinder, more empathetic, and proactive in addressing the issues that affect our communities. In the tapestry of life, Sam Strahan's thread may have been cut short, but his story will forever remain woven into the fabric of our collective memory.